Go.
Hi everybody, welcome back to Big Jiu-Jitsu. This is Christopher Hadley, aka Big. I'm here with Jesus Revezzo from Revezzo's Training Systems. He's actually here in Dunedin, Florida, and he's teaching Systema. So, Jesus, pleasure to meet you.
Good to
so
meet you,
tell
Chris.
us a little
How
bit
are
about
you?
your background.
Oh, good times. Many moons ago, back in 1993, I started my official martial art training. And it started with Kempo and a traditional Jiu-Jitsu system. So we actually kind of have a lot of stuff in common there. Good times. I was with that instructor for many years, learned a lot of great stuff. I also learned a lot of stuff what not to do as a person and as an instructor. Broke away on my own in 96, kind of drifted for a while. Started training myself via Ed Parker books and Larry Tatum videos, and that's how I got into the American Kempo system. In 99, I met my friend and current instructor, who I've been with now 18 years, and we started, he showed me a new version of Kempo that was going on, that was done by Paul Mills, so that was the AKKI system. It was a great system, and we were involved in that for many years, and then in early 2000, about 2001, we got introduced to the Russian martial art of Systema through an instructor named Sonny Puzikesh, who was a former Russian military guy himself, and then also trained under Vladimir Vasiliev, who was the main guy for all of us. And in around 2006, 2007, we decided to leave everything else behind and just do Systema from then on out.
No kidding. That's
Yeah.
pretty good. So, Systema, what makes Systema so much different, and why you guys left to do Systema? What was so special about it?
Yeah, for us, Systema really embodied the most complete system that we'd come across. So I know a lot of people talk about this is a complete or this is complete, and that's great, and there's only so much any of us can really do with a human body, but the philosophy behind Systema being one of more healing and more doing good for the body rather than destructive things to the body was really one of the things that stood out the most for us.
Now you're saying healing and stuff, but isn't Systema a Russian special forces military art? I mean, it's kind of like a contradiction in terms, no?
Indeed, it can be construed as a contradiction in terms, and Systema is one of many things I guess the Russian army uses in their special forces, but if you look at it in part of the philosophical aspect where you're dealing with fear and emotions and trying to alleviate that kind of stuff, so then the pieces that look like destructive strikes become more of a what I like to call heavy impact massage, and you're releasing tension from the people.
You're releasing their tension or your tension?
We're releasing their tension.
You're releasing their tension.
Yeah, we should already have our tensions out, unnecessary tension.
So, but this isn't like Tai Chi though. I mean, it's obviously more of a self-defense.
Right.
All right, I'm not taking anything away from Tai Chi. There is combat Tai Chi overseas that is definitely a martial art in its own way, but for the American people who see Tai Chi, they see it more of a martial exercise
Right.
than a martial art. So, now what about here? What do you do well here in Dunedin, Florida for Systema? What are you doing?
We're trying to reach out and let people know that you can be strong and healthy and safe all at the same time. A lot of the people that I get to work with, they tell me that one of the things they feel I do the best is be able to meet them on their level, whether it's a very beginner or whether they're advanced and they're just looking for something different. So there's always a way that I can bridge them from where they are to where they want to go.
Okay. So right now we're going to get on the mat, and you're going to show us with David some stuff. So I want you to go through some of that philosophy that makes it a little different, and just show a couple of things that really sets Systema apart versus other martial arts. And like you said, yes, I mean, there's only so much you can do with 2 hands, 2 feet. But I think that will also draw it out as well. Now, Systema being a system, is it the same traditional format as a martial art, or is it much, much different?
It's quite a bit different. There's no special uniforms. We don't have any belt rankings. There's no forms or katas or anything like that. So it's really more of an internal development of the person. Like people ask me that a lot. Well, how do I know if I'm getting better? Okay, well, how many boxers, are there? They know when they're getting better because they're doing better in their exercises themselves and fight with other folks in
Smart.
yoga. Right. People do yoga all the time. There's no levels in yoga. You see the development as you go along. So that's one of the main differences. What was the original question with that?
what would you say? Who's the ideal?
The structure. Yeah.
Yeah, the structure. But who's the ideal candidate? Since you went that way, who's the ideal candidate for Systema?
So the difficult part is, here's the thing, you know, as a person who's done it for a while, you know, and has seen benefit, I want to say everybody's a candidate. But I know from a business and you know, dealing with marketing and things like that, when you're for everybody, you're for nobody. Right. So
who do you specialize in? What is your specialty? Is it the previous practitioner who's maybe got a lot of injuries that's looking to get off the hard stuff, or are we talking this is probably good for children and you know, because you can customize it maybe to be not so aggressive, or are we talking someone who just wants to get off their butt and do something, but they don't want something so rigid and structured with you know, that they're going to be born in less than a year? Maybe, who is this really for? In your mind, if you're a beginner, what we say, let's say beginner. Who's the ideal candidate?
the ideal candidate as a beginner, for me personally, I'd say teenagers or adults. And adults more in the range of like 30 to 50.
30 to 50.
Yeah. That's most of the people that I work with are in that range.
Now, is that because of a mindset?
I believe so.
It's a mindset.
I think it's more of a mindset because Systema will, because of the way it's set up with really kind of a very little structure based compared to other systems, you have to be self-motivated, really.
Yeah.
And I've, you know, talking with other people that just discuss in general success and motivation and things like that, people say, well, how do you motivate somebody to do something? And they said, I don't. I get involved with motivated people. So that's a very interesting mindset. But a lot of the Systema practice and success in it and growth in it comes from your own self-determination and your desire to succeed in it.
Awesome. All right, so we're going to get with David here in a second, and you're going to show us a couple of things.
We've got my student David. David's been a great friend and student for many years now, and we just wanted to try to give you guys a little taste of some of the work that we're doing and a couple of things that may be different than what you're used to seeing in a traditional martial arts school. So I'll talk real quick about the concepts of a three-dimensional strike, and then we'll also talk a little bit about how to move with, like I said before, without unnecessary tension. So the first real simple thing for a three-dimensional strike, this is an example I've used for a long time, and we start here, just facing each other. And if I move from here to here, we're using just one dimension of depth. And then, so I'm going to change my position, he's going to stay the same, and now we have to cover width of the situation and the depth of the situation. And then if we, at the very end, we want to add height to it, so depth, width, height. And you can see that the effect kind of multiplies the more dimensions you put into it. So, so that's, you know, a hammer fist version. We can also do with strike versions. And we've always found that depth is generally the most missing of the three dimensions for anybody who's practicing. For whatever reason it is, maybe the way they're taught, or it's just the way they practice, because another thing that we deal with a lot is working with fear, and we can explain that later when you guys come and visit us. But a lot of us, we're just afraid of contact with another person. So this is something that Systema is really great at, is getting you used to contact with another person. I don't care, you know, we're not worried about it because we understand the contact. So learning how to make contact with a person comfortably for myself, comfortably for him also. So what did you?
Hinging. Talk about the difference between hinging.
All right. So aside from the multi-dimensional, the three-dimensional striking, if somebody's applying pressures to you, we want to be able to relieve that pressure from our body. So one very simple drill that we usually start with is if he pushes, we have to learn how to accept the pressure and then be able to redistribute through our body in a way that doesn't create extra tensions on myself. And it should also allow him the feeling of satisfaction that he's completed the task that he originally wanted. So a lot of people, when they get pushed, or a lot of systems, they will have you'll twist or hinge, or different places have different names for it. Just one push real quick. And the other side. That way I can talk with it. So as you can see, I'm doing the same basic thing. I'm accepting the pressure. I'm moving out of the way of the pressure. But if you look, I've corkscrewed my body. So my spine is twisted, my hips are twisted, my legs and hips, so everything is facing a different way. This is a bad place to be if you want to be able to move comfortably and then generate power back out to the other person. As opposed to if he pushes, I let the energy distribute out and I'm still basically in a natural posture. He's extended through. He completed his task. He pushed me just like he wanted to, but I've redistributed the energy that he gave me. No unnecessary tension. I'm in a natural, comfortable posture. And then because he's so stretched out, I just keep him going in the direction he already wanted to go.
All right, so David, tell me about you and your training here with Jesus.
Well, I've been training for a number of years, and
You need to talk up, big guy. You're soft-spoken.
sorry, I've been training him for a few years. I have a Hapkido background, and when I started with him, we started with some Kempo, and he introduced some Systema to me, and I just loved it. It was way more effective. It helped me in using my my Hapkido a lot better, to the point where I hardly use any Hapkido now. It's all Systema, because it's just so much more effective. It's very practical.
And how long have you been doing it?
With him, about 3 years now.
3 years now.
Solid. Yeah, I met him back in 2010, but we've been working out now more solidly for about 3 years. 3 years.
All right.
Now, for Systema, how many schools are there here in Florida? Roughly.
Oh gosh, in Florida, maybe somewhere between 10 to 20 within the whole state.
Within the whole state. How about here locally?
Locally, I'm the only person in Pinellas County that does it.
Okay.
I have like I said earlier, my instructor. He lives on the other side of Tampa right now. Actually, he's soon going to be moving out of state.
Really?
So then the next closest people would be in the Orlando area. There's a school, and there's a couple guys in the Sarasota area.
So if someone's really interested in Systema here on the west coast of Florida, they got to come see you. So how can they reach you? What's the best way to get a hold of you?
Go through the primary website is www.revezzostrainingsystems.com. You can get my phone number and email right off that, and you can either send me an email or give me a phone call or text me. And if I don't answer, be sure to leave a message. So
Yes, leave a message. He's a busy guy. And if you can't reach him there, you can always go to bigjujutsu@gmail.com. Ask for his information. I'll send it to you as well. Thank you so much.
appreciate
Pleasure.
it, Chris. Absolutely.
Pleasure, David. Thank you so much. And until next time, guys, thank you again.